Once upon a time, in a land graced by verdant hills and glistening rivers, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. She was known in the village for her gentle nature and kind heart, a virtue she'd inherited from her mother. However, her life was not a bed of roses. Orphaned at an early age, Cinderella found herself under the guardianship of her stepmother, Lady Tremaine, and her two stepsisters, Anastasia and Drizella. Lady Tremaine, a woman burdened with her own vanity, had a pair of daughters who mirrored her narcissism. Together, they treated Cinderella more as a servant than a family member, confining her to the dusty corners of the manor where she cleaned, cooked, and sewed. Despite this adversity, Cinderella never abandoned her hope for happiness. She spent her lonely nights speaking with the mice and birds that inhabited the garden, each conversation empowering her belief in a better tomorrow. One morning, an ornate envelope arrived at their doorstep. It was an invitation to the royal ball, a grand event where Prince Charming was to choose his bride. The household buzzed with excitement, but Cinderella was harshly told she could not attend. Heartbroken, she watched her stepmother and stepsisters flutter around, selecting silks and satins while planning how they'd captivate the prince. On the evening of the ball, after seeing her family off in their jeweled carriage, Cinderella retreated to the backyard in despair. Just then, a shimmer of light sparkled beside her, revealing a fairy godmother. With a wave of her wand, the fairy transformed a nearby pumpkin into a magnificent carriage and Cinderella's rags into a stunning gown of silver and pearl. But there was one condition: the magic would fade at midnight. At the ball, Cinderella enchanted everyone, including the prince. They danced as if time stood still, and for Cinderella, it seemed as though her heart was finally full. However, the clock's chimes reminded her of reality. In a rush to leave, she fled the palace, losing a glass slipper on the grand staircase. The prince, captivated by her charm, launched a kingdom-wide search. Every maiden was asked to try on the elusive slipper.